Kia ora, morena. It is day 14 of taking action with Nate. I'm just walking home, walking to my fiance's place, so I can have breakfast and then we get ready, shoot off for her interview in Hamilton. I've done my morning LinkedIn post already, and it was an interesting one because as I was writing it up, my dad was talking to me and he asked me, have you heard about what's happening in the budget? And I'm like, no, I don't follow the news. And he told me that apparently the government is cutting their contributions in half to our KiwiSaver in New Zealand. So KiwiSaver is how would I explain it? It's a fund that it's a fund that the government contributes to. I can't remember how much they were contributing to it, but when you work, you contribute. I think the minimum is 3% or 2%. Your employer matches up to a certain amount, and then the government also contributes, and you typically start with $1,000. So the post that I wrote today was actually about money, all about money, particularly about my money story. Over my 14 years working in a corporate company, basically how much money I estimated to have made, how much I paid on taxes and student loan and what else, and how much my KiwiSaver was. So it was pretty relevant. So yeah, I posted that. Already got some feedback, so should be interesting. Should be an interesting day. Anyway, that's a short update for the morning, and I'll touch base a little bit later after breakfast. Cheers. Yo, long time no see. So I wasn't planning on doing another one, but while I was walking, I walked past a couple of, I don't know how I would describe them, but let's just say troubling Maori, that kind of give us a bad look for different reasons. And then I started thinking on this concept of being sick and tired of being sick and tired, like when it relates to, I don't know, just progress, finances, health. You know, one of the things that I used to think about, and I guess I want to talk about the victim mindset and how it's affected me, what I'm trying to do about it. You know, you get to a stage where you get so fed up, and you get so angry with your circumstance, with where you are in life, and you ask yourself, why am I like this? What have I done? Why me? You know, all these like really disempowering, victim-y things. And I used to waste a lot of energy blaming other people for my circumstance. You know, I would always blame my parents for, you know, the fact that I was born a fat baby, or like a big baby, and I always attributed it the fact that I had struggle, you know, losing weight many of my years growing up. I was always a big kid, and it's kind of just this identity that I inherited, like, oh, you're big, you're always going to be big, and that's it. There's nothing you can do to change it. You know, even my own, I hate to say this, but even my own dad will kind of reinforce this notion and make the identity stronger. Like, oh, you know, when we would talk about BMI, he's like, you would never get down to, like, I think BMI for my height, a healthy BMI weight was like 85, 90 kgs or 95 kgs, something like that, because I like to say I'm 6 foot, about 6 foot. And he's just like, yeah, that's never going to happen. That's not for you. You know, that doesn't account for Māori and Pacific differences and makeup. And I guess I started believing it. And, you know, when I talk about goal weight, dream weight, it was always sort of, it was 120 for a long time. And I can't remember how it concluded that number. I think it was because I looked at, you know, All Blacks players at the time, and I think Manonu was like similar height, and he had the physique that I wanted, and I think he weighed around 114, 120, I don't know, to be honest. But yeah, I would blame other people for my circumstance, and I think a lot of us at some stage in our life have probably done that, and we need to stop if we want to take action. The first thing we need to do is to take responsibility for our circumstances. Everything that you have in your life, everything that I have in my life right now is my fault. 100%. Because it's my decision. Now, the only decision that we don't have control over is who our parents are, who our family is. So that's a tricky one, because you can't blame your parents. I genuinely think and believe that my parents did the best job they could with what they had. And as much as sometimes I might compare myself and say, oh, I wish I had a better childhood, a better circumstance. The truth is, this is something that I learned from Darren Hardy, one of his Darren Daily videos. He talked about the number one myth that we have to why we think we're not more successful, and it was basically your past. Thinking that the past is the reason that you're not more successful. And his take on it was, actually, your past has the hidden recipe for success. Your trials, your tribulations, your childhood, your past trauma is what makes you special, what makes you different, what makes you unique. Nobody else has those hardships, and you can choose to wield that as a weapon of power, or you can choose to let it consume you, which is kind of the default that a lot of people don't even realize they're doing, but that's what they do. So yeah, take control, reclaim responsibility, take full responsibility for everything that you have, good and bad, and basically thank your 10-year younger self, and be grateful that your parents did everything they could. Even if you don't believe that, is it really worth hanging on to this notion of hatred towards your parents? Like, you wouldn't exist without them, even if they didn't want you. Like Darren Hardy, his story, his mother, his biological mother, didn't want him. And did it matter? No, because look at him now. He's one of the most successful people, influential people in the world. And he was unwanted. Think about that. What do you have to complain about? What do we have to complain about? Our circumstances is the hidden secret. Contains the hidden recipe, ingredients for what our superpower is. You are stronger because of where you've come from. You're not weaker. So that's a message, an important message that I think the world needed to hear. And even if one person hears this, I hope it's the one person that needs to hear this. Anyway, that's enough for now. I'll catch up a little bit later. Cheers. Yo, it's 10 o'clock and we're just heading out shortly to Hamilton. Figured I'd just do a real short update. Just had breakfast, which was 6 Weet-Bix and 3 spoons of plain yogurt and a bunch of frozen blueberries and coffee. So that should tie me over for the next couple of hours. We'll go down, she'll do this interview, and then we will probably have lunch on the way back or when we get back to Auckland. So yeah, I will see you later. Cheers. Kia ora. It is 3:30 in the afternoon. We just finished her interview and it was meke as. Went really well, so we're just waiting to hear back from the place. We've just come to Hamilton Lake, which is really nice. We had some mean food. I might put a picture on the screen. But yeah, we're just waiting to hear back from this place and then we'll be able to make a decision soon. But yeah, that's enough for now. I'll see you tonight. Kia ora. It is almost 7 o'clock at night where I'm just being dropped off home, and I'll probably have something to eat for dinner because we just got back home, I don't know, maybe an hour or so ago, just having to rest. And yeah, today's been a pretty full day, pretty eventful day. Lots of blessings coming our way in different ways, which is really good. We had some good food, had a good positive interview. I was a part of it. It was really cool. Second interview that I've been able to sit in with my fiance, which makes it kind of good for both of us because we can both like debrief about what happened at each, because I was present for both of them. So yeah, one thing I realized when I was about to shoot this video is that I haven't actually done today's Darren Daily, so probably not going to do it tonight. I'll do it tomorrow. Since tomorrow's a weekend, he doesn't do them on the weekend. I'll just do it tomorrow. Talk about it then. But yeah, want to keep this nice and short. Keep the whole video under 15 minutes, so this should be within that time. What am I going to say? If you're struggling with anything, just trust in the process. Don't give up. Pray to God every day, and most importantly, try to be grateful for what you have, because you never know what's around the corner. Today was full of blessings, like you have no idea. So I'll leave you with that. Stay strong, keep going, start messy. Cheers.